I've also been castigated by the church.
Yes.
Are you singing for God? Are you singing for people?
Yes. I want to talk about bitterness now. How do you define bitterness as somebody who has openly spoken about her divorce? As a musician, somebody who's in the public eye, and I would like to believe that your relationship was also like a couple's goals type of thing.
I've given this country 9 years of my life making music.
Yes.
I want to take care of myself. Something about your content stuck with me.
Yeah.
So even as I was going through my processes, I would bump into it. Some I watched, some are like, she's too brutal. I can't take. I was looking for lifelines.
Yes.
Perseverance. Because when you go through divorce, you feel you're dying.
Yeah.
You lose things, you lose friends, you lose. And I also want to say my album now has 1 million plus streams.
Wow,
that's amazing. That's
amazing.
It's amazing because
do you feel like maybe the separation is what actually the push that you needed for you to do what you're doing right now?
Wow, good question.
Welcome to the Safe Space Chats podcast with Madam Speaker. Hi, my name is Perseverance Maremeni, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self-Love. On this podcast, we are creating a safe space for ourselves through heart-to-heart conversations, encouraging others to do the same. Just because we don't believe in the same things, we don't like the same things, we're not interested in the same things, it does not mean that we cannot coexist. So this is a safe space for you to exist even when you are different and unique. Your dreams are valid, your emotions are valid, your thoughts are valid, and your opinions matter. The only access code to this holy ground is you leaving condemnation by the door, be it judging other people or just self-condemnation. You leave that by the door and automatically access has been granted. Enjoy. Vivian, welcome to my YouTube channel.
Thank you for having me. As I said, I think somewhere earlier, that it's nice to meet you in person. And maybe if I was to tell people a little bit about myself.
Yes.
So, Vivian. My identification names are Vivian Wamboi, but my names that I am known for in regards to my public life are Vivian Kenya. So I'm a musician. Pop music, love songs, God songs.
Yes.
I think my message for the season is faith, hope, and love. I like to stick it there because I feel like there's so little of it. Yet it is really what makes the world move. So that's who I am. That's what I represent. And I'm so happy to be here.
So guys, here's one fun fact. My content that I usually create, right, it's so relatable, so much that we even got Vivian, who is a musician. She just explained what she is and what she does, so you would get to understand why the content that I create, I would like to say that it is really so relatable that everybody and anybody can relate to it. And I have a few questions for Vivian. Number one, how's the music going right now?
Right. Wow, good question. I get asked that question a couple of times. Well, the music is going. I would say it's going. I have been in school. So I was telling you earlier, I just got my certification as a therapist.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Last week. And so, and I'm also in mission school. So doing that and doing therapy, my days have been jam-packed. But I started doing those after my separation or while the separation was happening. Just to get to know who I am. Because there's a lot of confusion that goes on in that space. So
do you feel like maybe the separation is what actually the push that you needed for you to do what you're doing right now?
Well, so last year I released my album on Boomplay. For a long time I had been releasing singles. But last year, and my singles are big. They're very popular. People have I tell people, you've gotten married with my songs, you've made love with my songs, you know all these things. And I love it. In fact, today my Uber driver asked for a selfie. He was like, I proposed to my girlfriend with yours.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's so sweet. And I told him now, I want to make more music that now teaches guys how to stay.
Not just to get the girl,
not to get the girl,
but to stay there.
To stay there and for people to actually authentically love one another. So so the music is I'm still making it. Music for me, I say it's one of the things I do effortlessly, and I thank God for that. I just sing, I write, I create melodies, and it's so effortless. But I had to take a minute and look at myself. So when I did the album last year, I had a conversation with God. I tell people, I talk to God. I told him now, I've given you have given this country 9 years of my life.
Yes.
Making music.
Yes.
I want to take care of myself. I always wanted to do psychology.
Yeah.
But when I wanted to go to school and do psychology, I was starting the music as well, and the music blew up.
Yeah.
So the school had to wait.
Yeah.
Because this one now was demanding my attention, and it was moving. And of course, there was some money being made here and there. And so I said, let me focus on that.
Yeah.
But after I did the album, I was so tired because doing an album is a lot of work, bringing in the artists, doing the collaborations, doing the videos. And I told God, now I need to focus on myself. And that's how I said, now I need to think about what I want to do. So one of the things that I wanted to do was to go back to school. And I also want to say my album now has 1 million plus streams.
Wow,
that's amazing.
That's amazing.
It's amazing because it means people are vibing to the love. It has I mean, I've also been castigated by the church. Are you singing for God? Are you singing for people?
It's okay, we know them. We know them. They are people. We love you anyway.
We love you.
Actually, the thing that I wanted to get to now, Vivian, is how did you then get to watch my content? How did we get to be here in as much as you're a musician and I create this beta content where I'm influencing women, but we are sitting here right now? How did we get there?
I bumped into your content. I don't know how, maybe algorithms, I don't know. But at that time I was looking for lifelines. Perseverance. Because when you go through divorce, you feel you're dying. You're literally gasping for air. And you're alone and there's so much loss. And judgment. When divorce happens, the separation happens, it goes with so many things. You lose things, you lose friends, you lose part of yourself. There's just immense, intense loss. And so you're in darkness. So I was looking for light here and there
to survive, to get by every
so
day.
I think part of that Googling or on YouTube Shorts, that's where I saw your content. And I got interested because you were sharing so authentically. And you were right when you're saying there's a video I watched and I said, hey, this one I'm not ready.
You're not ready to deal with this one.
Yeah, because you know how those initial stages of separation and you're still trying to make things work.
You're
still trying to make it work. You're still saying, maybe we need to see someone, maybe we need what, maybe we need, so I'm still in denial. So when you are really talking actively about this is the end,
this is the reality of your life.
I was like, okay, I'm not ready. But I still, something about your content stuck with me. So even as I was going through my processes, I would bump into it. Some I watched, some are like, it's too brutal. I can't take it.
Like, I don't like this one.
I don't like this one, But slowly, even as I evolve and I now become Vivian, I learned to take in everything with a pinch of salt, but really to celebrate people who own their stories.
I want to talk about bitterness now. To say, how do you define bitterness as somebody who has openly spoken about her divorce, and as a musician, somebody who's in the public eye? And I would like to believe that your relationship was also like a couple's goals type of thing, and you having to speak, because I know that in most cases, when you are quiet, you are believed to not be bitter. But bitterness has absolutely nothing to do with your mouth. Okay? It's got nothing to do with that. How do you...
Firstly, thank you for liberating me with that.
Okay.
Because we get a lot of feedback. So I remember someone says the difference with men and women is women talk. So to say like, Vivian, you can just keep your mouth shut. But then I realized, because of how my life unfolds, the way you were talking about, like, this is my story. And I'm in the public. Am I supposed to disappear when I'm going through a separation? Am I supposed to ignore that it's happening? I need to own it and speak about it. Because if it's happening to me, it's probably happening to a lot of people. And I think for me, the space of bitterness is a space I walked through. I was very angry. I felt betrayed. I was angry at God. I was wondering, what is my life going to become? Where am I going to start from, And I was not understanding that there's process, that, life comes in gradually. So I was initially very angry, but I went through a process of learning how to forgive. And actually letting go and giving it to God.
Do you think that maybe if you went through everything that you went through privately, would it have been a little bit better, or you being a public figure made it worse?
It definitely made it worse.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely, because I still have to show up. Sometimes I have public engagements. So I have to show up, and then I have to go to the washroom and cry.
Oh my gosh.
And then come out and show up, because also not everyone should have an audience over your
life,
your life, and especially your intimate moments. Because some people are just toxic. So they will speak. It's like when you're hurting and then someone hurts you with something else, it can kill you. So I knew that. I'm happy I knew that. So there are spaces I would just show up and do what I need to do. And then now behind the curtains, find my spaces of healing with my school, with the books I was reading, with the therapy I was doing. Because I've done therapy, still in therapy.
Same here. I attend therapy.
And that helps me unpack, and just accept myself for who I am.
And then how has the tongue lash been, from the public, the people, when you were speaking openly about this? Because I was almost set alight, the town that I come from, they really wanted to burn me alive for speaking openly about the type of things that I went through in marriage. And I'm not even as popular as you are, so I can imagine maybe there are some people who wanted to set you alight, or you went through some other stuff of your own in terms of you just getting a tongue lash from people.
I remember when I was recording the song that I released. So I recently released a song. It's called Rhythm and Flow. And
it's rhythm and flow.
Rhythm and flow.
Okay,
So it says, go with the rhythm and flow. And that gave me, I needed to go with the rhythm and flow. I needed to accept, it's a very liberating song. So when I was coming up with that song, and I started in another studio, but finished it in another studio. I remember the producer told me, what did he call me? He called me something because I stood up for myself. And he knew I was going through a separation. And he told me, I think to allude the fact that I've become angry and bitter. And I felt like I don't need to take that. I don't need to be in a space where you think there's something wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me.
People think they know better than you. They're better than you. They can tell you who you are just because they know your story.
So there was a lot of hurt and pain. And I learned to disengage with spaces that were speaking toxicity into my life. Anyone who was hateful, who was negative, who was not really giving any empathy or compassion, I just pulled the plug. I really did.
You really did draw a boundary, and in a very painful way. Because I always speak about boundaries to say boundaries are painful not only for the person that you're drawing them for, but also for yourself. Because sometimes you're gonna have to suffer the pain of just having to draw a boundary to say you can have access to this Vivian that you had access to before. You get what I'm saying?
And be okay and still with that. I tell people, separation teaches you how to sit still. Because you need to sit with yourself.
Okay, so now because obviously since you are a public figure and your marriage was a public thing, and your business and your music somehow was joined together with the person that you were in
my ex.
So how did that affect
business,
the business part of it, when you had to go your separate ways?
It affected it completely. Because I had to start again. And I had to start learning things that I didn't know. Especially the business side, because
some of the things you go like, he's here, he'll do it,
and I was just focusing on creating the music and managing the project and that side. So a friend of mine, we like saying it's time to put on our big girl panties.
Put on your big girl plumas. That's what they are. Just put them on and just keep going.
So I had to put them on. And the spaces that I continued to stand up for myself just continued to expand. And I had to make peace with that. Because there are some executives, some companies, I had to say, well, I don't agree with that. And I'm not going to be a part of it. Even knowing that I don't know what tomorrow is going to look like. So I thank God I had a little bit of cushioning. But I like saying, when I was asking you your name, perseverance means resilience. One of the words that my therapist likes telling me is I have very high resilience. So I was willing to sit in it. Sit in it and feel it. Sometimes cry, sometimes look for the lifelines, but just go through the motions. But it was hard. It's hard.
It's hard. Healing is painful. Okay, I think this is going to be the last one. I want to talk about immunity, okay? Immunity, because people think that because you are a Christian, you are immune to certain challenges, because you are a musician, you are immune to certain challenges, because you are popular in certain countries, or you are popular in general, you are immune, because you have a mouth, you can speak for yourself, because you're intelligent. What is your thought on immunity to certain things as individuals?
What do you mean? There's nothing something like that. Like, we are inherently human.
Yeah.
All of us.
Yeah.
And in that song, I say my identity is in God.
Yeah.
I'm a child of a king.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a child of the Most High, and that's my number one identity.
Yeah.
All these other things I do are roles I play.
Yeah.
But I will still feel human emotion.
Yeah.
I will still feel pain sometimes.
I'll
even feel lonely sometimes. I'll feel misunderstood.
Yeah.
But the idea is to just grow up to a point whereby you're able to sit with the pain.
Yeah.
Because we've been conditioned to think that pain and anger, these are bad emotions.
They're
just emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the idea is to understand how to regulate, how to deal with them.
Yeah.
Even to have spaces of venting. I say, if you have a friend, like I was telling a friend of mine, let me be your space of venting, because I can take it.
Yes.
When you feel angry and you're sending the message to the wrong person, please, instead of sending it to them, send it to me.
Yeah. Because as I was saying, that people think that the popularity comes with some superpowers. You being a Christian comes with some superpowers. Like, listen, this is one of the reasons why we face a lot of bullying and everything, and people expect you to be okay because you have succeeded in life to a certain degree. Then you must take the abuse, you must take this. And basically that is the reason why I wanted to understand what your thought on immunity is, because if we can relate to how challenging life is, and we're in different places in life, then who is immune to anything? Nobody.
No one.
And that wraps up today's episode of the Safe Space Chats with Madam Speaker. From myself and Vivian Kenya, thank you so much for tuning in. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section down below. See you on the next upload. God bless you.